Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
The knowledge of the ancients, tried and true, trusted herbs and extracts fused with the latest nutraceutical science. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. For the last 2 years, our team has been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to develop the ultimate nutraceutical formulation. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. For a limited time, get 25% off on this introductory offer. Visit ancientdefense.com or call 888-253-3139. ancientdefense.com.
Well, 2 years after Americans petitioned the president to pardon Edward Snowden, the White House has responded. And they basically said that he needs to come on home and face a jury of his peers. Now, Lisa Monaco, who is the White House Homeland Security and Counterterrorism Advisor, she said if he felt his actions were consistent with civil disobedience, then he should do what those who have taken issue with their own government do: challenge it, speak out, engage in a constructive act of protest, and importantly, accept the consequences of his actions. He should come home to the U.S. and be judged by his jury of his peers, not hide behind the cover of an authoritarian regime. Right, come home and be judged by the totalitarian regime. We've seen how they treated whistleblowers. We've seen how they've treated people peaceably petitioning and protesting their government. We've seen them being sprayed with all kinds of implements that the police are using these days to rally up protesters. So it's just such a joke. She's saying this kind of tongue-in-cheek, come on home, Edward Snowden, we'll treat you fair. And now she goes on to say, instead of constructively addressing these issues, Mr. Snowden's dangerous decision to steal and disclose classified information had severe consequences for the security of our country and the people who work day in and day out to protect it. Now, first of all, we pointed this out many times. The NSA surveillance program failed to stop a single terror attack. Instead, it violated the constitutional rights of every single American in this country. It caused a lot of issues with our overseas allies because they're spying on them as well. But it hasn't even stopped people from hacking into any of the government. I mean, we just recently had the Office of Personnel Management being hacked into and leaving millions of government employees totally vulnerable to attackers, hackers, and identity theft. So, just what did Snowden do again? So he revealed just how pervasive the government surveillance of the American people has been. And because of that information, the NSA has now said that it's soon going to stop examining and will ultimately destroy millions of American calling records that it has collected. Now, Congress passed a law in June ending the collection, and instead they're going to allow the NSA to request the records from phone companies as needed in terrorism investigations. Previously, I guess they just had these back doors built right in, connected directly. They were just siphoning off all of this information directly and claiming that they were getting authorized to do that through these secret courts. But is it already too late? I mean, have we already built enough of a surveillance state all around us and worldwide? We've reported how local governments are increasingly poking through your garbage. They say that, in order to make sure people are just properly recycling. Now they've got garbage trucks with the ability to record the contents of your trash. And this is going to be on video. They're going to be able to inspect each object in your trash. So forget about metadata. The contents of your trash can be supremely and surprisingly revealing. But also, now we've got some new drunk driving legislation that could require breathalyzers in all new vehicles. And of course, this is coming down from the Nanny state, New York. Congresswoman Kathleen Rice, she's going to push this legislation mandating U.S. automakers equip all new cars with breath testing units. So, I mean, that's fine. You want to stop drunk driving, but I don't want to have to blow into a breathalyzer every single time that I want to start my car. I mean, it's ridiculous. They believe we're all too stupid to run our own lives. Now, Paul Watson, reporting from the UK today, revealed that not only are the banks tracking the physical locations of their customers, but they're also sharing that with third parties.
This is Paul Joseph Watson reporting live for Infowars.com outside the Bank of England. Now, we had a story up on Infowars.com today about Halifax Bank working in tandem with a third party. What's happening is the customers who visit their bank, not even to speak to bank staff, but merely to withdraw money from ATMs, are having their physical location, the date and time from when they visited that bank, tracked, put in a database and sold to this third party. Now, we contacted Halifax Bank and the third party. They didn't deny it. They basically acknowledged that they had this policy in place whereby they were tracking the location of their customers as they visited the bank in real time, putting that information in a database, selling it to third parties who then call up customers and say, we know you were at the bank last Friday, we want to talk to you about your visit. Of course, they do it under the guise of helping people, but the individual that contacted us was shocked at the fact that his private tracking location and his movements around the city were being sold to this third party and then used to put in a database and then basically harass him via phone calls. So we have the likes of HSBC, getting slapped on the wrist, getting these fines for drug and money laundering, whereas for the private bank customer, the ordinary individual, their movements are under suspicion. You tie this in with the fact that now withdrawing any amount of cash in significant quantities as low as £5,000 is being treated as a suspicious activity by HSBC Bank and others, while they're getting away with these monumental crimes and this fraud on a grand scale. Again, goes straight to the point that we're under a microscope while they're getting away with committing fraud and these giant crimes. So people are really concerned about this. It's an evolving story. We're going to keep track of it. We're going to give you more updates. This is Paul Joseph Watson reporting live from the Bank of England for Infowars.com.
So any program that involves the government's systematic monitoring of citizens crosses the line. Without privacy, there is no freedom. Now, NSA whistleblower William Benny talks about the NSA and how their encroachment is the Minority Report.
That's really one of the main driving factors for the White House Big Data Initiative that they issued in early 2012. The whole idea there was to have industry come up with algorithms that could go through massive amounts of data, which they're collecting on everybody in the country and the planet, and figure out things that are important for them to do and to actions they should take. Basically, it's Minority Report on a supermassive scale. That's how to figure out what people are intending to do or what they're all about from the data that you've acquired on them in every domain. And it's all done automatically with software then presented to people to make decisions and take actions. That's part of what I think you're getting at, Alex, and also I guess what the caller is getting at. And that's basically artificial intelligence being used and applied under a rule-based system that's being developed by analysts in many departments of government, none of whom are using things in a necessarily a disciplined or professional way. So they're going to make a lot of mistakes.
Well, it's like you said 6 months ago in the London Guardian, when you testified before the Parliament or the EU Parliament, the NSA is about total population control, close quote. This is social engineering so they can manipulate markets, know what we're going to buy before we buy it. A microcosm is the old customer loyalty cards that it's been proven in court are to decide what you'll pay more for so they can rip you off, not so you get a loyalty card. You just think you're getting something for nothing, but really you're being gamed. And now they want to just feed all data federally through this system and get industry to do it, I guess kind of legalizing it.
Yeah, well, that's basically the whole idea behind all this big data, White House Big Data Initiative, too. It's the same issue. It's getting back to the being able to do what the movie The Minority Report depicted mentally. People were reading their minds and projecting into the future. Well, they're doing that and wanting to do that with data collected on everybody in all domains of activity of people, including their health, finance, and everything else, and then do that kind of projection with software running against that data.
Mr. Benny, if we don't turn this around, the way this is being used, this commitment to authoritarianism we're seeing, where do you see it ending, sir, if things don't go well?
Well, I see us basically. I see it ending up in basically destroying the essence of humanity. I mean, that fundamentally, we won't be able to be human anymore. That's the way I look at it.
I agree.
I mean,
because
that's why we fought a revolution, right?
Well, the essence of humanity is free association, is privacy.
Exactly.
So many historians and philosophers have pointed out, if you don't have privacy, you don't have humanity.
That's right. That's the way I look at it, too.
Thank you for watching us tonight. We will see you here again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central.
Brain Force is here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on this the last few months. You probably noticed I've been more crazed, more focused, less brain fog, more energy, more special reports, and it's because of Brain Force.
We kept changing this formula over and over and over again until it became sort of a grand puzzle. For example, the L-theanine inside of it, that is activated by the different compounds in the yerba mate that we put inside of it as well. This just increases the compounds you already have.
This is what you're actually designed to run on.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a car will run on one form of junkie gas, but it runs really good on what it's designed for.
And that's the principle of Infowars Life, as far as I understand, that you've always had, is that it's not about synthetic chemicals and forcing actions. It's about letting your body do its own thing and giving your body the tools it needs to create these different compounds that are super valuable and super beneficial.
You will find Brain Force and other game-changing products at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
You are watching the Infowars Nightly News, which airs 7 p.m. Central at InfoWarsNews.com. And your support is helping us defend liberty worldwide.